Emaswatagits, listen. I'm getting this, crazy responses from my fellow people of Swaziland, in the United Kingdom mostly, and some from Swaziland. Listen, Pela, there's something in a democracy we call free speech, and we also call it constructive criticism. Just look at my statement again and try and absorb it and try and look at it positively. Okay, I know you love Gawuzela. A lot of you are looking for the Africa's big man, like in most African countries, to hero worship one person and elevate him to a godless status. No, you see, we're done with King Mswati. These untouchable gods in Africa. We have to end this in Swaziland. Seriously, people. I mean, seriously, it's 2022. Most of them live in London. You'd think they would go to 10, 11 Downing Street and watch what happens there, which is what I do on a regular routine basis. I go on Capitol Hill where I see congressmen and senators in sessions, and I learn. That's what you need to understand. Sometimes very good close friends, they have heated arguments there on the floor. It doesn't mean that you're enemies. We are just giving constructive criticism or in disagreement with an approach towards on a specific subject matter. So you Swazis have to understand, we're turning this page. We've got to criticize each other because we're building a nation. This is not a one-man show. Okay, this is a one-man show. Now this is the new guard. The old guard is gone, King Mswati. We want to put this new guard, Gawuzela, and make him the new guard in Swaziland and have his wife also be a power player in parliament. And so how are you different from Swati? And then you've got this thing, Monty, why would Gawuzela call you in America? You're not important. No, listen, in a democracy, all 1,160,000,000 Swazis are very important. And we have to listen to everybody. Everybody has to put forward an opinion. That's why we have Congress. I talk to Jerry Connolly. Sometimes I disagree with him. He's a congressman, a very powerful man. And I'll argue with him, sometimes in front of other people. I have meetings with him online all the time. And I disagree with him on some issues. It's very rare because we see eye to eye politically most of the time. But there are times where Jerry, I have a problem with him on Swaziland. He's not moving fast enough for me on Swaziland. And I openly criticize him. And it's not an attack. I criticize him and tell him, Jerry, no, why are you not raising this issue? You see, so this is what democracy is about. People are going to have differences of opinion. People are going to approach things differently. Just because I voice it, it does not mean I hate Gawuzela. Like I said, Nyamtanza Gawuzela. But what it did, you come all the way to United States and you don't call Manti. Let me tell you, nobody here who's a Swazi knows the houses of Congress more than Manti. I can guarantee you that Manti has spent more time in those corridors in Congress more than any other Swazi on planet Earth. I don't care whether they're here in America or in Swaziland or anywhere. More than even your ambassador. You understand? So I'm on first name basis with a lot of those people in there. I've worked for them over decades. Some of them I worked with them even on South Africa, way back then. And I've built this relationship over time. Initially, I was thinking Mswati is a well-meaning leader. And I built these relationships while I was still communicating with King Mswati. King Mswati did the same thing. You know, he would come here. Sometimes I wouldn't even know he was here. And I would know after he has left that he was here. Sometimes they would call me. I set everything up. And it takes time here. You understand? People, this is a very busy world. People are busy here. Spend time. One time he left me in a room full of investors. Okay? Go and ask Prince Mpiwa Dlamini, who was his king's chief of protocol. I used to communicate with him all the time. King Mswati came here. They went shopping in New York, flew over, and went to Las Vegas to look for prostitutes. And he had told Swazis is coming here to look for investors. So if Nina, you want an untouchable figure to make a god figure like Mswati in Gawuzela, then I'm here to tell you that's not democracy. We criticize openly each other in a democracy. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm simply saying, Gawuzela, when you travel overseas, let everybody know, particularly those who are active and vocal like Manti. You know, I know everybody there. I could have set up meetings with him. Okay? I could have I have friends on CNN, people like Reynard Jackson, the cousin to Michael Jackson. He is one of the top journalists in this country. He's always on CNN, CBS, and I would have a slot for him. And he hosts a lot of people on his shows. The Congressional Black Caucus, I know a good number of them. You understand? I've been doing this work for a long, long time. So, Monty, what have you done? I've built relationships here. The last 36 years I've been here. I worked on South Africa with the top civil rights, brilliant Harvard law scholar. Okay? Dr. Randall Robinson. I worked in his office as an intern, and I learned how to lobby on Capitol Hill. I've worked for the Human Rights Campaign. So I have a history. You understand? So when the Swartz is going to come here, I want them to know the groundwork has been done. All he has to do is show up and say, Manti, I'm coming. And I'll start the work. And coordinate with other organizations here that I know I've been working with for many, many years. And we organize. Even churches. Gawuzela futhi speak the language of church. There are civil rights churches that are known. Not far. One of them is about 5 minutes walk from here. Okay? One of the most powerful reverends. Okay? Called Union Temple. I used to go there a lot as a college student. Both Reverend Farrakhan. They go there. You see? Because they're all politically connected. Listen. You Swartzes have to get really sophisticated.